Parts of New York are cleaning up and drying out this morning after one of the state's wettest days in decades flooded entire neighborhoods. A state of emergency has been declared after heavy rainfall drenched subway stations and homes and turned streets into rivers. Albert De La Talla is wading through this story for us from the breaking news desk. Albert, what's the latest from New York?
The cleanup is underway in New York, Natasha, following that downpour that hit much of the area yesterday. The torrential downpour led to states of emergency, as you mentioned, for New York City and Long Island. Many areas saw record rainfall, including JFK Airport, which recorded nearly 22 centimeters of rain by nightfall. That surpasses the record set for any September day, previously set by Hurricane Donna in 1960. You can see some of the scenes there. A flash flood warning was in effect for New York until midday. The torrential downpour lasted throughout the morning rush hour, snarling traffic and disrupting subway and commuter rail service. Flights into LaGuardia Airport were briefly halted in the morning and then delayed after that. Late into the night, people in the area were working to pump out their basements.
My wife and I have been pumping water out of the basement since 11 o'clock this morning.
That's 12 hours almost.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any end in sight, but, you know, we're fighting the battle.
My garage is in the basement, and I was waiting for the water to just flow down into there and ruin the whole basement. And I was like, well, what do we do? There's nothing we can do. You just ride it out.
Despite the states of emergency and urging from the mayor, Eric Adams, to stay home if possible, schools remained open and many adults went to work. The silver lining here, officials haven't revealed any storm-related deaths or critical injuries. A major storm about 2 years ago saw 13 deaths. There was one close call, though, at the Central Park Zoo when a sea lion named Sally, you can see her there, briefly escaped her enclosure due to the flooding and was exploring a plaza inside the property. The zoo confirms she was safely returned. The floodwater has receded and all is well at the zoo and with Sally.
Oh, good. I'm glad Sally's okay. So, Albert, all kidding aside, there has been a significant increase in these flooding incidents in recent years in New York. So, what's the explanation for that?
There has been. They're pointing to the aging drainage system combined with these more frequent large storms. New York's drainage system, it can handle about 4.5 centimeters of rain per hour. Part of yesterday's morning rush hour exceeded 5 centimeters per hour, so that exceeded that capacity, making matters worse. About 60% of the system combines storm runoff with sewage, so when it gets overwhelmed, that mix can get into waterways. It can also get into houses, into basements, into businesses. Here's one woman who was dealing with that directly.
2 years later, and we have the same ongoing problem. It's not just us, it's the whole neighborhood. It's constantly putting in thousands of dollars into our homes, and nothing's getting resolved. And it's the city sewer pipes that are doing this. And it's just frustrating as a homeowner because I have a sick dad, and I'm a teacher, so it's hard to make ends meet. And now with this, it's again like this needs to get fixed. It needs to get fixed right away.
A 2021 report from the city says that upgrading those systems would take decades. And Natasha, they're pegging the cost of those upgrades at about $100 billion.
Okay, thank you, Albert.
You're welcome.